Moon River, a Korean historical fantasy romance that's breaking records with its controversial darker plot. Crown Prince Lee Kang lost everything when his beloved crown princess was poisoned, framed by the most powerful man in the palace. Consumed by revenge, he encounters Park Dali, a merchant who looks exactly like his dead wife, but has no memory of who she really is. Then comes the shocking twist. Their souls swap bodies, forcing the heartbroken prince to navigate commoner life while a woman with no past must survive royal politics where betrayal lurks in every shadow. Dark secrets, poisoning schemes, forbidden love, and a tragic truth about to explode. Will they survive their own destinies? This is the mystery keeping viewers hooked. Moon River is a 2025 Korean historical fantasy romance drama that premiered on November 7, 2025, on MBC TV and has already become a ratings phenomenon. The series airs every Friday and Saturday at 9:40 p.m. KST and consists of 14 episodes totaling approximately 60 minutes each. The creative team behind the magic. The drama is directed by Lee Dong-hyun, known for Bittersweet Hell, and written by Cho Seong-hwae, who penned the hit More Than Friends. It's produced by the talented Hyzeum Studio, a production house known for intricate character work and emotional depth. Lead cast and chemistry. The two protagonists are brought to life by Kang Tae-oh, famous for Extraordinary Attorney Woo, and Kim Sejeong, beloved for A Business Proposal. Their pairing has generated massive anticipation, and what's remarkable is their undeniable on-set chemistry. Behind-the-scenes footage reveals the actors meticulously discussing emotional scenes, with Kim Sejeong even checking on Kang Tae-oh during intense water scenes, showing genuine camaraderie that translates perfectly on screen. The premise, more complex than it sounds. Set in the Joseon era, Moon River blends palace intrigue with fantasy elements. Crown Prince Lee Kang is haunted by the tragic death of his beloved Crown Princess Kang Yeon-wol, who was poisoned and framed for murder 5 years ago. Park Dali, a salt merchant with remarkable business acumen, has no memory of her past, unaware that she is actually the reincarnated princess. When these two souls mysteriously swap bodies, they're forced to live each other's lives while hiding this impossible secret. Crown Prince Lee Kang. A prince, hiding a deadly agenda. Outwardly eccentric and reckless, Lee Kang is actually a calculated mastermind, secretly plotting revenge. For 5 years, he's been playing the role of a carefree prince while meticulously unraveling the truth behind his wife's death. He presents himself as frivolous to the court, but he's actively dismantling the palace systems established by his enemies. What makes him complex is his internal conflict. His desire for revenge constantly battles his growing affection for Dali, forcing him to choose between justice and love. Park Dali, the strongest woman. Nobody remembers. Dali is no damsel in distress. She's a hard-working salt merchant with exceptional business skills, moving from town to town selling salt like white gold. However, her amnesia is the core of her tragedy. She was found near water 5 years ago and woke with no memories. Little does she know, she's actually the crown princess, meaning she's both the woman Lee Kang loved and the person he's been trying to protect. Her journey isn't just about regaining memories, it's about discovering a royal identity while navigating a palace full of people who want her dead. The shocking revelation, they were married. Here's where it gets intense. Lee Kang and Dali were husband and wife before her death. This means when he sees Dali and mistakes her for just a lookalike, he's actually reuniting with his beloved without knowing it. The emotional weight of this revelation is devastating. 5 years of grief, replaced by confusion, guilt, and the realization that she was alive all along. When Dali learns the truth, she must grapple with being someone she's not and suddenly remembering a love she thought was dead. The most dangerous villain, Minister Kim Han-cheol. The true antagonist is Left Minister Kim Han-cheol, played by Jin-gu, who holds more power than the king himself. He's ruthless, calculating, and uses his own daughter, Kim Woo-hee, as a political pawn to place her on the throne. The controversy here is dark. He orchestrated the crown princess's death by framing her for murdering the queen, all to remove her from power and install his daughter. He represents systemic corruption and the willingness to sacrifice anyone for ambition. Supporting characters that add layers: Prince Lee Woon, Lee Kang's cousin, and Kim Woo-hee, the minister's daughter who becomes a betrayer, add complex dynamics to the political intrigue. Some critics noted that the first 2 episodes, the soul swap plot twist, where fantasy meets fate. The soul swap isn't just a gimmick, it's a turning point that accelerates everything. According to the drama's lore, everyone is connected to their soulmate by a magical red thread, and no matter what happens, destiny ensures they find each other across lifetimes. When Lee Kang and Dali swap, they must live double lives. The prince learns commoner struggles, and the merchant navigates deadly palace politics. This creates hilarious and heartbreaking moments as they hide their true identities while slowly realizing who the other person really is. Identity, class, and social justice. Moon River directly challenges the rigid Joseon class system. Dalai's journey from commoner to hidden royalty forces viewers to question whether status determines worth. The drama explores how Lee Kang, despite being a prince, must learn humility by experiencing market life, while Dalai, despite losing royal privilege, proves her inherent strength has nothing to do with a crown. The dark controversy, systemic betrayal, and poisoning. What makes Moon River different from typical romance dramas is its willingness to explore corruption at the highest levels. The crown princess didn't just die, she was murdered by the state using political manipulation. Minister Kim Han-cheol poisoned her, framed her for regicide, and forced her to choose suicide to save her husband's life. This is not a love story hijacked by politics. It's a story where politics murdered love. The show doesn't shy away from showing how power corrupts institutions. Emotional depth over spectacle. Unlike typical K-dramas that rely on pure melodrama, Moon River uses fantasy elements to explore real emotional truths. The red thread of fate isn't just romantic, it's existential. It asks, if you loved someone in a past life, can you love them again when neither of you remember? The soul swap forces characters to experience empathy, literally living in someone else's shoes, dealing with their problems, understanding their struggles. Twists that recontextualize everything. The biggest twist involves realizing that Lee Kang and Dali were already soulmates before the story began. They didn't fall in love in this timeline. They're remembering a love from before. This means every emotional moment carries double weight. Lee Kang is discovering his wife is alive, and Dalai is unknowingly falling for a man she loved but can't remember. The twist in episode 5, the highest-rated episode so far with 6.1% ratings, revealed Kim Woo-hee's treachery, forcing Lee Kang to choose protection over revenge. Romance and suspense in perfect balance. Episodes 8 to 10 delivered the show's most powerful moments. Lee Kang and Dalai exchanged bodies, cooperated to execute revenge, and confirmed their feelings with a kiss. However, this wasn't a simple romantic moment. It was Lee Kang choosing love over his 5-year revenge plan. He killed Jim Jo, the key clue to the conspiracy to protect Dalai. This represents his character evolution, from someone consumed by hatred to someone who chooses love, showing that healing requires letting go of vengeance. Viewer obsession over cliffhanger endings. The ratings spike tells the story. Episode 1 started at 3.8%, but by episode 5 it jumped to 6.1%. The peak was a specific scene in episode 3 where Dalai saved Lee Kang's life, reversing their dynamic and generating an 8.3% viewership spike at that exact moment. The cliffhanger endings have sparked such intense viewer immersion that fans are theorizing episode outcomes before they air. Breaking records. Despite initial slow start, Moon River premiered to modest ratings of 3.8%, episode 1, and 3.7%, episode 2, leading some critics to call it a slow-burning romance. However, the show proved its doubters wrong by hitting 5.6% in episode 3 and peaking at 6.1% in episode 5. This upward trajectory is significant in the competitive weekend drama market, where it directly competes with SBS's Would You Marry Me, 6.8%, and TVN's Typhoon Family. Social media and fan theories exploding the show has generated massive online buzz, with fans theorizing about upcoming plot developments. Key questions are trending. Will Dalai regain her memories? What happens to Minister Kim Han-cheol? Will Lee Kang succeed in his revenge? How will the remaining episodes handle the soul swap resolution? Murder, not accident. The Crown Princess was poisoned. Moon River doesn't hide its darkness. The Crown Princess didn't die naturally. She was systematically poisoned and framed for regicide by Minister Kim Han-cheol. This is state-sanctioned murder masked as justice. The drama explores how institutional corruption can destroy innocent lives, making this more than a romance. It's a story about systemic injustice. The ethical dilemma: revenge versus love. Unlike revenge dramas that glorify vengeance, Moon River questions whether revenge is worth the cost. Lee Kang's obsession with revenge consumed him for 5 years, but falling in love with Dalai forces him to confront an uncomfortable truth. Pursuing justice might cost him the person he loves most. By episode 8, he chooses love, showing character growth and redemption. A woman robbed of her own story. Dali's amnesia is tragic not because she's a victim, but because her life was stolen. She can't access her own identity, her marriage, her memories. When she learns she was Crown Princess, she must reconcile that she was someone important, but lived as a commoner. This raises profound questions. Does identity come from status, or from who we are? Is she the same person in a peasant's body as she was in royal robes? The controversy. Why viewers are obsessed. The show's willingness to include darker elements, poisoning, conspiracy, suicide, framing, makes it emotionally higher stakes than typical romances. Viewers aren't just invested in a love story, they're invested in justice, truth, and the characters overcoming systemic corruption. This emotional investment is why ratings consistently stay above 5%. Phenomenal chemistry. You can't look away from Kang Tae-oh and Kim Sejeong have an electric connection that makes every scene crackle with tension. Their on-set dedication, visible in making-of videos, translates to authentic emotional performances that will make you feel their every struggle. A fantasy premise that explores real human truths. The soul swap isn't just spectacle, it's a vehicle to explore identity, empathy, and fate. When Lee Kang lives as a commoner, he gains humanity. When Dalai navigates palace politics, she discovers her own strength. This isn't mindless fantasy, it's emotionally intelligent storytelling. Ratings that tell the story. With episode 5 peaking at 6.1% and consistent 5+% ratings through episode 10, Moon River is crushing its competition. Korean audiences are obsessed, which usually means the show has staying power and emotional depth. Cliffhangers that actually matter. Every episode ends with a moment that makes you desperately want the next episode. The soul swap revelation, Dali's dangerous palace interactions, Lee Kang's internal conflicts, all are crafted to maximize emotional investment. Visually stunning period production. The Joseon-era cinematography, costumes, and set design are breathtaking. Every frame feels intentional and beautiful, elevating the storytelling beyond dialogue. A rare blend, humor plus romance plus political thriller. Moon River doesn't pick a lane. It makes you laugh at Lee Kang's fish-out-of-water moments as a commoner. It breaks your heart with romantic confessions. It terrifies you with palace conspiracies. This tonal balance keeps you perpetually off balance in the best way. Complex antagonist in Minister Kim Han-cheol. Rather than a cartoonish villain, the minister is a ruthless pragmatist. He's not evil for evil's sake. He genuinely believes his actions are justified for his daughter's future. This moral complexity makes his conflict with Kang intellectually engaging. Moon River is the complete package. A romance that doesn't sacrifice plot, a fantasy that grounds itself in emotional truth, and a historical drama that questions the ethics of power and justice. Whether you're obsessed with K-dramas, love body swap comedies, or crave intense political thrillers, this show delivers on every level. With 4 episodes still airing, episodes 11 to 14 coming December 12th to 20th, now is the perfect time to start watching. You'll join millions of Korean viewers theorizing about endings, celebrating the lead's chemistry, and staying up past your bedtime because you can't stop at just 1 episode. Stream Moon River now on Viki, View, or MBC's official platforms.